Think about it. Anxiety is worrying about something that didn't happen. Most of the time, it never happens. It's just not logical. All right. Hi, this is the Chazz Palminteri Show. It's Monday at 11 o'clock. Always a new episode. Always a new episode here. Very excited because this thing that we're doing about questions and answers, you call up and ask any question you want. You know, call life and bullshit or whatever. You know, things that really piss you off or things that you want to know about. Any question. I'll answer any question. John, do I answer any question?
All of them.
I don't give a shit what it is. I will answer any question. I want to remind you about my one-man show. I did this show, my God, 1989. I'm still doing it. You believe this? This is the show that Robert De Niro saw, the show that was a hit on Broadway, and also it was a huge hit. It was best show of the year in Las Vegas. So a lot of great things are happening. I want to remind you about, John, where am I playing? Well, let's get the dates out of here.
November 3rd, you're going to be in St. Charles, Illinois at the Arcada Theater. November 8th, you're going to be in Ridgefield, Connecticut at the Ridgefield Theater. November 15th, you're going to be in Carteret, New Jersey at the Carteret Performing Arts Center. And November 23rd, you're going to be in Cranston, Rhode Island at the Park Theater.
God, oh, great. Listen, if you never saw the show, you owe it to yourself to see it. Because the movie, the musical, show was a hit on Broadway for over 2 years. Best show of the year in Las Vegas. I beat out Cirque du Soleil. Do you imagine that, John? That came in second. They had 85 people in the cast. Okay,
that's crazy.
It was just me. Anyway, I sound like I'm bragging, but hey, if it's true, it ain't bragging, they say, right? But listen, don't forget my restaurants. Guess what? I got two of the greatest Italian restaurants, 30 West 46th Street, 264 Main Street in Mamaroneck, New York. And you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. You come to my restaurant, you have dinner, whatever, dessert's on me. You hear me? I hope my partner hears this. Wait till he hears this shit. Dessert is on me. You say, but you have to say, I saw Chazz on the podcast. He said dessert's on him. Okay? So, you go to my Italian restaurants, really, really great. Really. Listen, they got my name on it. It has to be great. Otherwise, my friends would disown me. Right? Don't forget my cigars. John, we got the website, LCG Cigars. And my wine. Paulie DeSilvio, one of the great cigar makers in the world. I partnered with him. The Bronx Tale cigars. It's just, everything is going really great, John. I'm afraid to say anything. You know when you're afraid the shoe's going to drop? No, everything is going really great. So, the questions that people have, I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of this bullshit. Or, just a question, any question you want. Go to my Instagram, follow me, go to my Instagram, leave a question. Okay, go ahead, John.
First question comes from Super Siri. It says, in Italy, you're a legend. I'd like to hear more about your Italian side.
I'm a legend. The man called me a legend. Josie Wales was a legend. My favorite movie. One of my favorite Westerns. My Italian side. Well, my family is from Menfri, Menfi. My mother was from Messina, Catania, right in that area there. I'm 100% Sicilian, 100%. You meet a lot of people that's Sicilian, but they're not 100%. My father used to say that. Don't forget, you're 100%. I'm 100% Sicilian. We go there every year to Sicily or to my wife's home. We have a home in Sant'Arsenio. That's about 100 miles south of Salerno, if I'm not mistaken. My wife is, Napolitan, so it's like, we're still Italian, but we're not. My kids are not 100% Sicilian, but I tell them to say it anyway. So I'm very fond of my roots being Italian, very fond. I do. Do I favor Italian people more than other people? No. But if I meet an Italian person, there's a certain kinship there with anybody. Whether you're Irish, Black, Chinese, Japanese, whatever you are. There's always a little kinship there that I treasure. So I'm very close to my Italian roots. Yes.
Moving on, Metallic Pumpkin says, what one thing that you miss about the 60s or 70s?
What do I miss about the 60s and 70s? Being young and being so carefree. I was in a band, a rock and roll band. You could show that photo if you have it. The long hair. I was at where was it? The Virgin Islands. I lived in the Virgin Islands. I was a young man, 19, long hair. I was singing, but I always wanted to be an actor and a writer. And I started studying, and then I got into the actor's studio, which I was very fortunate, and met Lee Strasberg. And finally, he said to me, he said, "Look, you got to get off the road. If you really want to be an actor, you got to starve." And I remember Michael Shurtleff was a wonderful teacher. He said the same thing to me. You got to make a decision. What do you want to do? And 1979, I left the music business and really studied full time as an actor-writer. And I got my first break on Broadway in 1982. Anyway, that answers a lot of that.
That was a good answer. So, okay, this one stayed anonymous, but it says, how has living in New York influenced your worldwide view and work?
Well, living in New York is the epicenter. There's that old saying, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. I really believe that. Why do you think comics, you get a lot of comics that come here and there's an edge they get just from everyday living, just from walking the street, meeting people. Not saying that the comics in LA are not as good as the comics in New York. No, I'm not saying that at all. But there's an edge you get here that I think a lot of comics, when they leave New York, they miss that.
I agree with that. Okay, so the next few questions are a little bit darker, but I feel like it's going to help a lot of people. This one comes from Elder Mike. It says, please talk about forgiveness when your family hurts you.
I think that's important. I think forgiveness is very important. What are you going to do? You got to hold on to hate? You got to hold on to pain? Look, here's the deal. Now, are there certain situations that can't be forgiven? Maybe. I've never come across that. So I'm not saying that what I'm saying here right now is the only answer. If someone in your family hurt you so bad and did something so egregious, maybe, and they're still that way, maybe it's better you just stay away. Maybe you can't forgive them. I don't know what that would be, but I'm trying to be logical in that. But most of the time, forgiveness is good. Wishing somebody hate or wanting to see somebody do bad, that's bad. You know what that's like? That's like taking poison and hoping the other person dies. It's inside of you. You can't do that. You have to. I think you hold on to that hate, and it weighs on you. It's just let it go. Am I saying you have to take them out to dinner and be with them all the time? Of course not. I'm just saying let it go, man. Let it. It's like a knapsack on your back. Just take it off and say, "Go with God. I wish you well." That's all. So, again, especially if it's family, I think you got to go the extra mile. If it's family, because one day you're going to be gone, they'll be gone, and what's it going to matter? What's it going to matter? Who gives a shit? Come on. Get along if you're family. Try. At least try. Make the attempt, and if you try a few times and it doesn't work, c'est la vie. Then maybe you shouldn't be together. Okay.
Next one comes from TVMCU. It says, can you please discuss dealing with anxiety? This is the last one of the darker questions, and then we're moving
I don't
on.
mind darker questions. That's fine, John. Anxiety. Wow. Anxiety is something, what is anxiety? You're fearing about something that's going to happen. You're insecure. I'm not a shrink, please. If you got bad anxiety, go see a doctor. I've been in therapy a long time, but anxiety to me, and I remember I used to have big anxiety. I was like a hypochondriac. I still am. Going to the doctor, getting a test, anxiety about that. It's like, what is that old saying? I don't know if it was Socrates that said, a hero dies once, a coward dies 1,000 times. Just, it's a muscle. You have to work on it. So when you have anxiety, you got to go, no, I'm not going to worry about this right now. Tomorrow, maybe I'll worry about it. But today, no. Then after a while, you say, you know what? The next 3 days, I'm not thinking about this. And after a while, you get on the other side of the hill, and the anxiety will still come once in a while, maybe, but you'll be on the good side where it doesn't come that often. Think about it. Anxiety is worrying about something that didn't happen. Most of the time, it never happens. Never. So it's just not logical. You have anxiety or what? You're going to die? Well, that's the biggest anxiety. Everybody has that anxiety. Everybody thinks about that. But there's nothing you could do about it. Nothing. Zero. So why think about it? Think about now. Have a good time now. Because if you hold on to the anxiety, you won't have a good time now. You won't have a good time then. You'll never have a good time. Okay?
All right, that was a great answer. Okay, next one comes from Samuel. It says, can you talk about your social circle getting smaller as time goes on?
Well, you know what it is, Samuel? The social circle does get smaller. You still have the same friends outside, but as you get older, you realize that time becomes so precious. You don't want to waste time with bullshit. You just don't. I don't want to be around people who I don't like. I really don't. I mean, if I know they're assholes, I can't do it. I don't have it anymore. Do I get along with everybody? I think I do. Do I make people feel bad? No. But I just tell my wife, you know what? I just don't want to see them, right? I can't. But they like you, she says. I go, I know, but I can't hear all the bull. There's this couple I know. I know them for like, I don't know, not too long. But every time we see them, all he does is talk about money, how much money he has and all his investments. And I can't. I got no time for that, man. I don't care how much money you have. And they're very wealthy. They live in Manhattan and big brownstone. Oh, God, I better stop saying this. Okay, you might hear this. And I can't. They're nice people. Don't get me wrong. They're really nice people. But I can't talk about money and fame and all this all day. I just can't do it. So I think that's why the circle gets smaller. You want to be with people you really love. Yeah.
All right, next one comes from Liz. It says, what food or dessert would you eat daily if it didn't make you fat or affect your health?
Oh boy, I love that question. Well, I would go to my restaurant and I would have, if nothing, veal parmesan, but I always get it baked. I would get it fried. I would get spaghetti carbonara. I would get tiramisu. Don't forget my restaurant. You mention my name, that you saw this show, you get a dessert on me. Got it? Any dessert. And we have great desserts. We make them ourselves. Tiramisu, great stuff. My partners are going to hate this. But I don't care. You know what I mean? I love my restaurant. I love it. I want people to come there and enjoy the great food. What was the question?
If you could have one food every day without it affecting your health.
Pasta. I love pasta. any kind of pasta. Oh my God, I just love pasta, but I only eat it on Sunday, just on Sunday. That's all. But I can have it every day.
Same. So next one says, what are some of your favorite spots on Arthur Avenue?
On Arthur Avenue for dinner.
It
for
just
food?
says favorite spots.
Oh my God. Well, there's Mike's Deli. If you want sandwiches, the greatest sandwiches. I mean, they got a Bronx Tale sandwich. They got great sandwiches there. Mike's Deli in the market. La Casa Grande Cigars. It's my partner, Paul DeSilvio. Freshly made cigars. You ever have a fresh made cigar? Much different than one that's been around a long time. Two different feelings. He's the king of that. You got to go to La Casa Grande. Great cigars, and you got to go to his bar there. We have Chazz wine. People say, Chazz, you're doing so many things. But I always tell them, look, they'll buy it once because of me. But if it ain't great, they won't buy it. So my wine, the cigars, my cigar was voted top number 8 in the world in boutique cigars. Look it up if you don't believe me. Chazz Palminteri, A Bronx Tale Cigars. Gino's Pastry. Gotta go to Gino's. Best cannolis in the world. Best cannolis in the world. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Okay? All those people out there, this guy, that guy. Gino's Pastry, best cannolis in the world. Joanne, the cappuccino queen, best cappuccino. Casa Mozzarella, the greatest mozzarella. I mean, it's so fresh. You walk in, the guy's making it. Orato's making it with his son. It's like, oh my God. It melts in your mouth. Here's the key with mozzarella, John. You got to eat it as soon as you get it. You can't put it in the freezer, in the refrigerator. Don't do it. Don't do it. It'll still be great, but it won't be as great as you get it when you take it home. There's great restaurants there. Mario's Restaurants is great. Been there 100 years. Zero Ottanova, Roberto's, Amici's. Great restaurants. I love the restaurant. Title Brothers, olives, cheeses. You go to Title Brothers, I think it's the longest store that's ever been there. Okay, Gilbert, I mean, just great people. Oils, olive oil, great stuff. Great stuff. I'm trying to think of any other place there. It's just a great neighborhood, man. I love that neighborhood. And it's, I was born and raised there. I still go back there on Saturdays once in a while to go shopping. And it's just a great place, man.
This one I like. It says, the name's Divorced and Happy. And the question is, how can you be so sweet and calm?
How could I be so sweet and calm? Well, I'm not divorced. Maybe that had something to do with your being aggravated, because an ex-wife could definitely drive you nuts. Or you could drive them nuts too. You know what my father said? My father said, the bigger you get, the happier you should be. Because you got no fucking reason to be in a bad mood. And that's what he said. Look, do we all get down sometimes? My life is great. I travel all over the world. I make movies, do television, perform my one-man show, been on Broadway a bunch of times. And what's there to be down about, really? Think about that. I mean, there are people with way worse lives than I have. Oh my, I don't have it. I got a great life. I am blessed. I think I know I'm a Catholic. I think I know my God, and I think I say thank you. And the key is, I'll tell you what the key, the real key. And what's his name? Who said that? Does he have a name?
He does. I just scrolled. Oh, Divorced and Happy.
Divorced and happy. All right. He's happy. Good. It's being grateful. Being grateful. That's the key. Every morning I wake up and I do the grateful flow. I think of 5 things that I'm grateful for. Try it. Or when you go to bed, or do both. When you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm grateful for my life, that I live in this beautiful home. I'm grateful for this bed that's so comfortable. I'm grateful for I have 2 healthy children. I'm grateful, whatever. It'll flip a switch, put you in a great mood. I think that's the key to life. is to be happy, John. Be grateful.
I agree. This one, it's not a question, but I've heard you talk about it before. This person, Granny Joy, says, I would like to see you play a crooked priest.
Oh, crooked priest. It's always got to be crooked. Oh, have you been here? I don't know. You must have been. I've been saying I want to play a priest for the past 30 years. I keep saying I got to write something myself, but I would love to play a priest. Whether he's a crooked priest, a street priest, I would love to play a priest. I think I'm just going to write something. But any scripts out there with a priest, think about me. Okay? All right. What's next?
Jonathan says, how do you cut off the wrong people in your life and not mentally be attached to them?
Well, if you cut them off, listen, I don't cut anybody off unless they're really bad. I had a guy who I really liked a lot, and then we were very good friends for many years. And then I found out he was just taking all this money from me, and I broke up my friendship with him. We were partners in something, and he justified him taking money because I was doing so well, which is not. He said, well, omission is still a lie. If you don't say nothing, it's still a lie. So, not a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal at the time because I really did love the guy. We were very good friends for 40 years. But I don't see him anymore. He's out of my life, so that's that.
Lewis says, how do you apply yourself and how do you not get distracted?
Well, Lewis, you apply yourself by discipline. Without discipline, you got nothing in this world. Nothing. Zero. I'm not a kid. People go, hey, you look in great shape. Yeah, I look in great shape because I have discipline. I work out every day. I don't eat bad food. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't use drugs. I pray. Look, discipline will make you better, or undisciplined will destroy you. It's very simple. How does that happen? Guy's doing really great, and then all of a sudden, he starts. Look at the John Belushis of the world, the Kevin Farley, such great talent, immense talent, but what they did was they did Richard Pryor. They made it even in spite of their bad discipline. But the problem with them is they didn't sustain. Elvis Presley died at 42 years old. Immense, in the beginning, immense discipline, and just the fame, the money, the women just got to him. That's what happens. It gets to you.
So this is the perfect question to wrap it up with, and it comes from Florence. It says, what is the saddest thing in life?
Wow. Well, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. My dad said that. That's my dad's line. I didn't write that. My father used to say that to me. My father, Lorenzo Palminteri, he was a bus driver and a very beautiful, incredible man. And my mother, Rosina, a beautiful woman. Just so handsome, my father, my mother, so beautiful. And my two sisters, Mary and my other sister, Rose, they didn't waste their talent. They succeeded, both of them. Way before I did. Then I was the last one. But you know what I think is even more than wasted talent? Wasted life. Think of the odds of being born. Somebody said the odds of being born are so insane, of everything working out great. You are unique. No one is like you. No one will be like you. No one has your fingerprint. And I mean a fingerprint as a whole. Ever again, they will see. Why not live a good life? You don't have to be a movie star. You don't have to be a famous doctor. You don't have to make a ton of money. The thing you leave behind is your reputation, your children, your art, whatever. Just live a good life. If you live a good life, you'll be rewarded. So don't waste it, man. Don't waste your life. Discipline. That's the key. Without discipline, you have nothing. All right. This was the Chazz Palminteri Show. Bring those questions. We got a lot of things, life and other bullshit. I'm sick and tired. Is there anything you're sick and tired of? There has to be some things out there. You're just so tired of hearing it. What is it? Any question you want, go to Chazz Palminteri, my Instagram. Follow me, leave a question. I don't give a shit what question it is. I'll answer it. Okay? I'll say your name if you want me to. If you put your name down, I'll say it. If you don't put your name down, that's fine. Whatever you want to know about the business, all bets are off. There is no filter here. I have no filter. The filter means what happens between the brain and the mouth. People filter it. I'm not going to filter. This is the no filter episodes. We got so many names for this.
So many names, so many questions. I'm surprised how many people write in.
Well, there's a lot of questions. It started as a goof doing this, but it's become like one of the best episodes.
And
People
I think
really
it's
like
fun going all over the place too, because you go low, you go high. I mean, it's just all over the place, and I just read them in order.
Yeah, I know. It's just here's a young man, John the One.
Hello.
John, how long? We've been working together a few years, right? 3 years?
3 years at this point.
3 years, young man. Why is he so successful? Why? Because, I'll tell you why. He has discipline. He wants everything right. John and his great company, 3 Nut Studio. 3 Nut Studio. Mike Lavin
and Jason
Like
Nauer.
Michael Lavin, Jason Nauer. 3 Nut Studio. They filmed A Bronx Tale, the one-man show. They filmed it. We're going to Lisbon, Portugal. You excited about that, John?
I'm really excited.
We're going to Lisbon. We're going to do the international premiere there. Then it's going to be out for everyone to see. They got, talent, but they do the right thing. You want to be a success? Do the right thing. If you don't, you won't be a success. It's very simple. All right? God bless. See you next week. Don't forget to go to my restaurant. Get a dessert on me. Say, Chazz Palminteri said, I saw his podcast, and I get a free dessert. Say it, okay? I don't care what my partners say. All right? Have a great time. Don't forget my one-man show. Come to see me. You'll see the dates. Go to chazzpalminteri.net. If you never saw the one-man show, you get a chance to see the show, meet me after the show. It's a great, great night. A night in the theater you will never forget. God bless you.